Hello my sweet friends and welcome to day one of the Gilmore Girls Readathon. I have been waiting for 2 years since 2020 to do this readathon again, but last year was just so chaotic for me and all the hosts, but I am so excited that we're back this week. But I also would be lying to you guys if I said I wasn't feeling a little bit under the weather going into this week. Unfortunately, I have been doing so much this fall leading up to this week that I'm feeling a little bit burned out. Today is my work from home day, thankfully, hence like the glasses, the low maintenance hair. We are just working from home today, so I definitely wanted to check in with you guys and let you know my reading plans for this week. But I just want to enjoy my reading. I have not had a week of reading in what feels like ages. Like honestly, I am just so excited to read, so this is going to be a very low-key chill readathon week, but I'm so excited regardless to read along with you guys and watch Gilmore Girls every day. Who doesn't do that anyways? But in case you have not seen my November TBR video, I thought I would go ahead and share with you now the books I'm going to be reading along with the prompts that they fulfill. So first of all, as a nod to Stars Hollow, the first prompt is to read a book that is set in a small town, and I am going to be reading Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree for this one. I have heard nothing but amazing things, and the term cozy fantasy is a completely new term to me. I don't know what that means other than there's less politics, there's less at stake, and it's just a good, fun, cozy time. All I know about this book is it's about an orc who decides to put down her sword and ends up starting a coffee shop in a little town where no one even knows what coffee is. She decides that she just wants a slower pace of life and doesn't want to fight anymore and go on adventures. She just wants like this small town kind of feel and lifestyle. I am totally here for that. It's also less than 300 pages, around 250. So for a readathon, I feel like this is going to be a super great length. And also, I just got from the publisher actually, which is perfect timing. I have I Told You This Already by Lauren Graham. I'm going to be reading this for the family drama prompt. This hasn't come out yet, but it probably will be by the time this video comes out. I think she talks a little bit less about Gilmore Girls, but just about her life in general, and I love the bright colors of this cover. I'm just so excited to get into this one, and how fitting that she would release a book right around the time we do this readathon again. I just thought that was so cool. But regardless, I was just so excited that the publisher reached out to me and decided to send me a copy. So I think this is probably going to be the first one I read, because I also have the audiobook through Libro FM, and you know if she narrates this, it's gonna end up being really good. The next prompt is to read a book set during fall and winter, because I feel like a lot of episodes in Gilmore Girls are set during that perfect peak fall and winter season. So I decided to pick up Spells for Forgetting by Adrienne Young because I have heard nothing but amazing things. I already bought the audiobook, so I have that queued up. I've heard the audio is also phenomenal, and I don't know anything about this. I just know it's a deeply atmospheric story about an ancestral magic, an unsolved murder, and a second chance at true love. So if this is fantasy, but it's also a mystery and there's romance involved, I mean, hello, that sounds perfect for me. So I think I'm really gonna love this. This is one that I want to prioritize this week, but also I may end up reading last because I do want to take my time to savor this one. And for the complicated love interest, which we know there is a lot in Gilmore Girls. You have Max Medina, you have Luke, you also have Rory's side of Dean, Jess, Logan. There's so many different relationships and things that come into play. Even Lane and her boyfriends. Like, hello. There's so many different complicated love interest storylines within Gilmore Girls. But for this one, you guys know I always include a graphic novel or a manga, so I decided to finally pick up Lore Olympus Volume 2. If you have not read this and you love Greek mythology, but you also love some romance, definitely pick this one up. It left off on a pretty good cliffhanger with volume 1, but the artwork is just so great. I love the blue, pink, kind of purple color scheme. I'm so excited to see what happens between these two. The next prompt is Asian representation, which obviously is a nod to Lane Kim, is Death by Dumpling by Vivien Chien. This looks so freaking cute. It's a cozy mystery, obviously, about a family-owned noodle shop, and our main character is the daughter in the family. I don't know what happens other than one of their customers accidentally eats shrimp, and he's allergic to shrimp, and so he dies from eating one of their shrimp dumplings instead of the pork, which is what he originally ordered. So someone clearly switched out that order, but I cannot wait for this one, mainly because I love Asian culture just in general, so I think this is going to be a really fun time. There's actually 9 books in this series already, and I had no idea there was that many because this came out only in like 2019 or 2018, so there's been 9 books since 2018, so I better get going on this series. But I think I'm most intrigued or excited about this one mainly because it is my second cozy mystery ever, so I'm very excited just to dive into another series. And then we have Leaves on the Cover, but I'm also combining it with the group read, which is As Seen on TV. This is a small town romance that apparently has Gilmore Girls vibes according to Abby Jimenez. I don't know much about this, but I know it takes place in Pleasant Hollow. The main girl's last name is Geller, which is like Paris, and she goes to the small town as a journalist and tries to get the scoop on this small town, and there's some romance that's involved. I know there's also a mother-daughter relationship that is in this story. I do have high hopes for this, and I don't know if I should going into this, but we're gonna read it and we will find out together. And of course, the last prompt is to just bake a fall treat and watch a Gilmore Girls episode. And for me, this is not exactly a fall treat, but I've always wanted to experiment or make homemade Pop-Tarts. They seem super easy, so we're going to attempt to make those because we know Gilmores live off a good Pop-Tart. That's what we're going to be doing, and of course I'm going to be watching Gilmore Girls all week long anyways, and I don't think I could ever pick a favorite episode because there's so many good ones. So this is my plans for the week. I don't have super high hopes that I'm going to get through all of them, but a girl can try. We are going to be having reading sprints on my channel tonight with Mackenzie and Heather to kick off the readathon. Like I said, today is my work from home day. I'm also feeling under the weather. Like, I cannot tell if I'm getting sick or if I'm sick, or halfway through this vlog I'm gonna bail and this vlog will never see the light of day. I don't know what's gonna happen. We are trying to push through this Monday, push through this week, and just have a lot of fun reading. Like I said, I want this to be a very chill reading vlog. With that being said, I need to hop back into my work. This is my lunch break, so I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna get some work done to finish out the day, and I will probably talk to you guys tomorrow. I don't know what I'm gonna start with, but I'm kind of leaning towards Legends and Lattes. And I'm also probably gonna listen to this as I work today because it's just gonna be like an easy breezy book to get through. That is all for now. Happy Gilmore Girls Readathon, and I will see you guys whenever I see you next. Say hello. You're my cute boy. Yeah. Oh, so you're just gonna sit back there? Alright, hello friends, welcome to day 3 of the Gilmore Girls Readathon. Yes, I did not vlog yesterday, unfortunately. I have had every good intention to check in like every night during this readathon, and unfortunately I was just so tired, you guys. I swear this time change is throwing me off more than any other time change before. I think it's because I had to shoot a wedding on Saturday and my body was just so tired the next day, and then of course it gets dark super early and I just want to crawl into bed every single night this week, which honestly isn't a bad idea because I need to be reading anyways. I just don't want to fall asleep because we have reading to get done. But anyways, it is 9:15. I just got off with Jan from Jan Agaton. I was a guest for her book club this month and we read Nettle and Bone. It was a very chaotic but fun time. I can't believe that was the first time we have talked face to face before. before. So that was really fun. We both rated the book the same, so I felt like we related a lot in that regard to the parts that we liked, the parts that we didn't like about the book. But anyways, I have a pretty decent Gilmore Girls Readathon update that I have been meaning to update you guys on. Let's first talk about the book read. Let's have a little chat, okay? Because when I first chose this book, what stood out to me was the fact that Abby Jimenez, who I've heard is an amazing romance author, blurbed this, and she said there was Gilmore Girls vibes. When she said there was Gilmore Girls vibes, I did not realize that she was just talking about there was quotes or nods to the show. There really aren't that many Gilmore Girls vibes in this book. Yes, we have Pleasant Hollow, that's like this small town, and our main character, her last name is Geller, so all I'm picturing is Paris this whole time, which kind of fits the main character because she's super hormonal and she's super high strung, so it kind of fits the bill. But the only other Gilmore Girls vibe I'm getting from this is our main character Adina is really close with her mom. She has a really great relationship with her mom, they live together, and she is trying to get the scoop on this small town, why they're renovating and all of this kind of stuff, to basically move up in a journalist position, and it eventually would make her more money, and so she can help her mom financially pay for their apartment. But so far there hasn't been any mother-daughter moments other than the very beginning when she goes away on this trip to Pleasant Hollow. Gosh, I don't want to be mean. The narrator is overly excited about everything, which makes the main character feel a little bit annoying. Like, maybe I would enjoy this better if I had more time and I could read it physically. It's very insta-lovey, and again, I don't have a lot to compare this to. I've read very few romance books. You guys know this is the first year I really dived into some type of romance, but this just is not it, and I'm so sad because I'm seeing a lot of people in the Discord say they are not a big fan either. But on the other hand, it's so cheesy and cringy that it's laughable and it's entertaining. It's giving me a good time. I have a little bit less than 2 hours. I feel like nothing has really happened. The steamy scenes are so cringy. I feel like a 10-year-old wrote those scenes. Like, some of the verbiage is just not, it's not it. It's not sexy. And then another book that I am very much enjoying, thankfully, and honestly I knew I would because Lexi and Desi have talked about this book a ton, and that is Legends and Lattes. You guys already know the cozy vibes are so good. I love the audio because the author himself narrates it, and it's so great. And typically I don't care for male narrators narrating from women's perspectives or points of view. It just kind of pulls me out of the story a little bit, and it's not my favorite, but he does accents so well. The romance vibes have been very subtle so far, which I'm kind of liking because I don't love a ton of romance in my fantasy. Coffee is described in this book as bean water, and I will only call it that from here on out. It's very slow so far, and it's definitely character driven. You're not gonna get a huge plot in this book, but we just start off with our main character creating this coffee shop and these struggles of starting a new business. There's a character in this book that I'm not gonna spoil, but his name or her name is Thimble, and it is so cute. I am telling you, the characters are adorable, and I am feeling a 5-star for sure with this. But anyways, I am super duper loving this, so I may put this one aside and go ahead to start Death by Dumpling because I actually found the audiobook on Scribd, and I did not know Scribd had cozy mysteries, so that was a huge game changer for me during this readathon. But I don't remember the synopsis of this book other than there's a death by Dumpling, so I can't wait to dive into this and just be more submersed in the Asian culture, hopefully. So I guess we will find out what this is like. But I also forgot to tell you, I actually finished Lauren Graham's book already, so that's my first book that I finished of the readathon. I would probably give this book a 4-star, and I think it's just because I didn't feel the nostalgia as I did with her other book, because her other book talked so much about Gilmore Girls, but this one, each chapter chapter was a different story or encounter with a person that she's had in her life. It didn't read choppy, but it almost felt like short stories. There was a really good quote in here that I had to pause the audio and go back and write it down because I wanted to share it. It's very useful to always have a friend that is older and one who is much younger. The older friend will remind you what there is to look forward to, and the younger friend will keep you telling your stories over again so you'll remember not to forget them. I love that so much because it's so true. I love having older friends that have been through more life or is just more experienced than me because I love getting advice from those type of friends, but it's fun to have younger friends that aren't married, that keep me feeling young, that I can relate to. And I just love that quote. I just thought that was really good. There was a lot of good quotes in this book, but because I was listening to it on audio, I couldn't stop and write everything down. I'm just so glad I read this because she is one of the few actresses that I feel like is so raw and she will tell you anything about showbiz. I especially remember one part of this book how she's talking about someone that she worked with on set was like holding up a bag of onions to their eyes to try to make them cry for a scene, and for some reason that was just the most hilarious visual. Never would have thought someone would go that far. Like, sometimes I just think actors and actresses can cry on cue, but apparently sometimes there's onions involved. She's also talking about a time where she was on the Jay Leno show and her manager, I guess, was trying to change a funny story that had to do with a Honda Civic when she was a teenager. It was a dead car or something, and they wanted to change the model of the car of her story to make it a funnier story. But when she told the story live, like, people just weren't impressed. And she said that if she felt like she was true to herself and true to the story and not lying, that things would have turned out better and things would have been funnier. And she's just learned from there, always tell the truth, always be raw, and it will just get you farther in life. I think that's so true as well. Like, you can't really fake it till you make it. You kind of just have to be true to yourself and honest, no matter if it's friends or if it's for like millions of people in the world. I don't know. I just thought those were probably some of the top things that stuck with me about the book. I may just see you guys tomorrow because I do want to focus solely on reading. I feel like this first part of the vlog is just going to be a little bit more chatty because I work during the week. I'm going to go make some more tea and get right to it. I will probably talk to you guys tomorrow. Hello my friends and welcome to Friday. Yes, it's already Friday. I have only updated this vlog once. I am so sorry. In case you can't tell, this is gonna be a lot more of a chatty type of video, which isn't necessarily a bad thing at all, but I have just been crashing into bed each night. I've had will have three live shows by the end of this week, and that's just a lot of socializing. And with work, I've had a bunch of project due dates, so I am just so tired. I did a half day today. I decided to treat myself and get a holiday drink, which this is just a soy latte, and I just put 2 pumps of chestnut praline in it. I feel like their original Christmas drinks are just so freaking sweet, but this is just the perfect frothy kind of taste that I love, so I'm really enjoying this. But I thought we could also possibly run out to Target because, first of all, I have no jeans. I cleared out my closet as we were moving this summer and I don't have any jeans that fit me anymore. So I will try to get some B-roll because I do really want to take a sneak peek at their Christmas stuff. I don't want to buy yet because I do want to do like a haul and decorating with me and stuff later. As I like to say, it's never too early. If the dollar section gets me or something, I am definitely not going to complain. I do have a little bit of a reading update, but I did end up finishing this, and it definitely was not my cup of tea, and I definitely feel guilty because yes, it's a group read. I did enjoy it for like the funny, cheesy part of it, but this character is not almost 30 years old. Honestly, I blew through the second half of the audiobook as I was working because I just didn't care enough, but I felt obligated to finish it. It's super sad, but I'm always here for the honesty. You guys know I will always give you my honest opinion. Now this book, on the other hand, I am halfway through and I am loving. I feel like this is my perfect transition back into fantasy because I've been reading so many mystery thrillers. So this honestly just feels like home to me. It is not your typical fantasy, but fantasy lovers will like this. So it's hard to describe because it's so slow, but if you just love cozy coffee shop vibes, definitely for our sprints and games tonight, I'm definitely gonna be finishing this. I think I have like an hour left of the audiobook. Hopefully that will be book number 3 that I finish. I am just gonna go ahead and run up to Target, take you guys with me. I cannot guarantee you how much B-roll I will get because my Target, like I said, is insane on Fridays, but I will at least give you a little bit of a sneak peek into what Target has this year. Let's just go, and I will probably do a little bit of a haul when I get back. Okay friends, I am back, and as predicted, Target was absolutely insane. I definitely didn't want to go too crazy because I know there's a couple other things I need or want to do, like buying things to decorate my banister. I didn't want to spend all my pennies in one place, you could say. But first things first, the non-Christmas items I picked up, I did end up finding a pair of jeans, which I'm very excited for. They just have a couple rips kind of in the knee, nothing too crazy, but of course I always have to fold up my jeans at the bottom. Another big essential, this is my favorite dry shampoo. This one is just like the original fragrance. It's nothing too crazy, but I live off dry shampoo, you guys. Like, my roots within a couple hours of taking a shower just get so greasy, so I always spritz this in my hair every single morning basically, which is probably not great for you, but obviously I use this for a second day and sometimes third birthday hair. I've also been super annoyed because I had this great like big claw clip that I loved. It was like a really pretty sky blue, and somehow within our move it got lost, and I was really missing having a clip, especially on weekends when you just want to pull your hair up. So I found this Kristen S claw clip. It's just like your typical tortoise shell. I really loved like the square kind of shape of this one, and I have pretty thick hair, so hopefully this one will be okay. And I also forgot that I used up all my red lipstick. I have gone to use my red lipstick multiple times for filming videos, and I don't have any more. So I decided to try this Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink. I don't think I've ever used like their, I don't know, gloss applicator before. I usually just get like a stick, and the one that I wear in all my videos, that's what I have. But I don't know, I kind of just wanted to try something a little bit different. 3 of these items I kind of wanted to save to show you guys later in a haul, and I also have a video idea for it, so I'm definitely not going to tell you the idea. Of course, the dollar section got me once again with this gorgeous gold tree. This one was just $5, and then this one that's this perfect winter green, and it's also velvet. So I love these two side by side. I think I'm gonna end up probably putting them in our bathroom or something. They had a ton of tiny ones. They had bottle brush trees. They just always have the perfect color palette that I love. That's just so classy. And then I saved my 2 favorite things for last. The first one being this Gingerbread House Mug. Are you kidding me? This is so cute. This was $5. They also had like a Santa Claus one, and it's just so cute. I think this will be interesting to try to drink out of because it's like a square. Super cute. I think I only have like 2 or 3 like Christmas coffee mugs, which is so sad. I definitely had to add it to my collection there. And last but not least, you guys, I am a giant sucker for pillows. I think you can make any corner of your house or any item of furniture look so cute with a throw blanket and some pillows. As you can tell, I have a bunch here on my chair, but I was like, I don't have any Christmas pillows like for my office area in here, and this one just called to me. It's so cute. This green, this forest green they're doing this year is so perfect. But I think I'm gonna end up putting it on my chair back there with my red blanket, make my office a little bit Christmassy, or put it downstairs on my couch and try to find maybe 1 or 2 other pillows to pair it with. He's actually a really good boy. He does not climb the Christmas tree. He does not do anything like that. Ari, our dog, is the one that likes to bat the bulbs off the bottom of the tree and play with them. But you don't do that, do you? I also got 2 books in the mail that I was debating on sharing with you guys because they are going to be in like a book haul pretty soon, like a wintry book haul, maybe even like a cozy mystery book haul. But I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm so excited for these books, so I'm gonna show you guys what I got. Ooh, yes, I am so excited. This is definitely an anticipated release for me this year. It's the Christmas Murder Game. The back says 12 clues, 12 keys, 12 days of Christmas, but how many will die before the 12th night? This definitely gives me like And Then There Were None vibes, but it's supposed to be a little bit cozy, I guess, as well. Like not your typical mystery thriller, so I think it falls in between like mystery thriller and maybe cozy mystery. I don't know, but we're gonna find out. So if this one is not on your radar, it came out recently, so I would definitely check it out for Christmas. And next, you guys know already, it's a cozy mystery, is Dead and Gondola by Anne Claire. This one also just came out. In this series debut, a mysterious bookshop visitor dies under murderous circumstances, compelling the Christie sisters and their cat Agatha to call on all they've learned about solving mysteries from their favorite novelist. These 2 just came out in November at some point fairly recently, so if they're not on your radar, hopefully they are now. I am gonna go pack in as much reading as I can before our live show games tonight, and hopefully end up finishing Legends and Lattes so I can finally start Death by Dumpling. We will see. I'm also very tired, and I know that a nap would not be the worst thing because we still have Saturday and Sunday to read, and I will probably check in with you guys tomorrow on Saturday morning. Hello friends and welcome to Saturday. It is currently 12:15 p.m. I have not gotten any reading done. I feel like I have said this already a million times in this video, but I am so tired and so burned out. So I let myself sleep in, which I feel like definitely was the right choice. I am here with a great reading update because I ended up finishing this at about like 12:30, 1 a.m. last night. We got off games and sprints and it was so much fun, but I was so tired. So I like laid in bed for a little while and I was like, okay, I have 20 minutes left of this book. I need to just finish it. And let me tell you, it was so good! Honestly, I do not have any complaints about this book. It was just such a fun time. There's gonna be a second book called Bookshops and Bone something or other, so definitely keep an eye out for that. I am so glad he's coming out with another book, and seriously, get the audiobook. My only tiny little complaint is that it was so short. It was 250 pages and it felt too short. I wanted more connection and more build-up between Viv and Tandri, because I feel like because it was late on the romance, the first half of the book we didn't really see or explore their relationship much. It's still a 5-star. I'm still gonna read the next book and I'm still gonna recommend this to literally everyone I can. So that means I have officially completed Lauren Graham's book, As Seen on TV, and Legends and Lattes. So 3 books in 1 week for me, with how crazy work has been, honestly, is super great. Like, if I could just be done with the readathon now, I'd be so pleased. So needless to say, I'm pretty confident going into the next couple days that I will be able to get all my books read, but we've got 3 full books we still need to knock out. I have just been enjoying a very relaxing week of reading, and sprints and stuff were so much fun last night. I think that was the first time I've ever talked to Desi face to face, and only the second time with Heather, and Mackenzie it's been forever, so I'm just so glad the 4 of us could hang out together. We took quizzes on who our boyfriend was, whether that was Dean, Jess, or Logan. We took like, what Gilmore Girls character are you? We did trivia, and you guys in the audience did amazing. Like, you guys came through with some of the answers that we like had no clue what it was. And also, not to mention, you guys are killing it with the Instagram game, because we didn't have like photo prompts at all, but every single day there's some of you that's been putting out pictures, and I especially had to shout out my girl Elizabeth, because you guys, she dressed up as Lorelai back in 2019, and that's how we originally like became friends, or who I knew who she was, by her Lorelai dress up. So I'm gonna drop the pictures here because she did Lorelai before. She also did Dean yesterday. I was cracking up at the bangs. Seriously, so good. And my favorite probably is Suki. She did Suki at the beginning of the week, and even the band-aids, like the accuracy, I am freaking obsessed. So I had to shout her out because that has just made my week 10 times better, and I knew you guys had to see it too. Alright friends, it is a very gloomy, sad day, like it has been for the past 5 days. I am finally going to try my hand at making some homemade Pop-Tarts. I've seen a couple friends before make homemade Pop-Tarts and they look divine, and of course we're gonna watch some Gilmore Girls while we eat our Pop-Tarts. We're just gonna see how much reading we can get done. I'm gonna stop jabbing on and let's just go make these Pop-Tarts. friends, the time has officially come. Look at this beauty, you guys. It turned out so well. I think 13 minutes was probably the right amount of time to bake this. My husband tried it and he said it was really good, and he's typically a very picky eater. So let's go ahead and give it a shot. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's good. Honestly, I think I prefer this over a normal Pop-Tart. Unless we're talking about the s'mores Pop-Tarts or the brown sugar. Those two are my top favorites, but in regards to fruit, these are way better. I do want to try these with like Nutella maybe. I feel like those would be super good. I feel like maybe a marshmallow fluff icing or like something on the inside that's marshmallowy would be amazing too. But yeah, these were super duper easy. My only complaint is it does not make nearly enough. It only made 4 and I could only get them into squares, which is totally fine by me. Just don't overdo like the filling because some of them were already like exploding in the oven. Seriously, give these a shot. There's barely any ingredients and most of the ingredients I already had. So if you can just get a hold of a couple pie crusts, I feel like this is definitely a big winner. Now that this was a success, I think I'm gonna go ahead and turn on an episode of Gilmore Girls while I eat this, do some more reading, and Rachel and I from Happy Go Lovely Sleeves on Instagram, I think she changed her name to Happy Go Lovely Reads on YouTube, but she said she would join me for some reading sprints tonight. So we're gonna do that in about 3-ish hours. I'm gonna see how much reading I can get done, how much Gilmore Girls episodes I can watch before later tonight. This vlog. Unfortunately, I am sick or just have a very bad case of allergies. So needless to say, it is now days after the readathon has ended. I don't think I filmed anything Sunday, the last day of the readathon, because I was just very tired. But I did get a lot of reading done and I wanted to sum up all the things that I did and all of the things that I read this week for you guys, because I don't think I gave you like mid-book updates, but I did finish all my books except for one. But also, I just got the Cozy Hollow Book Club t-shirt in. You guys, if you don't know anything about the Cozy Hollow Book Club, my friends Rachel, Caitlin, and Lauren run a cozy mystery book club. They have fully introduced me to this genre and I love it. So of course I had to support and buy a t-shirt, and I kind of wish I had bought a sweatshirt and a mug because this is so cute. So I will leave their Instagram below if you guys want to check it out. But the first book I finished was Lauren Graham's new book, which I loved. I'm pretty sure I gave you guys my thoughts earlier this week. I think I would give this a 4-star only because I didn't love it quite as much as her first book, but I still really enjoyed this. And if you are gonna read it, I honestly just recommend getting the audio for it. As much as I love this book cover design, the audio is perfect with the way she reads, the way she narrates, and she's telling her own stories. So it's just so good. I just love how each of these chapters was a different story or a different experience. It almost felt anthology-like, which I really appreciated. So definitely recommend picking this one up. The second book I finished was Legends and Lattes, which I loved so much. I am full on into this cozy fantasy genre now because of this book. I flew through this. It was so cute. It was so relaxing. It was the perfect cozy vibe for this readathon. And if you guys aren't fantasy readers, you may enjoy this because it wasn't difficult to understand. But the characters were absolute perfection, and I don't know, I just feel like I'm getting a big hug when I read this book, and that's what I love about it. I also did push through and read As Seen on TV, and I feel guilty being a host and picking like a bad group read, but I've never read the book, so how would I know? But a lot of people weren't a fan of this one, and neither was I, but there was quite a few people that did actually still enjoy it. I personally didn't care for anything in this book. I would probably give it like a 1 star. There was nothing wrong with it. There was nothing necessarily problematic. It just wasn't enjoyable for me. But also there's supposed to be like cutesy small town vibes and quirky characters, and I didn't get that at all. Like, I did not really get Gilmore Girls vibes. I even started like tabbing all the different Gilmore Girls references when I first started this, but I ended up stopping because there were no more references. Sad day. I did push through, and I'm really sad that a lot of other people didn't like it either, but I'm proud of us for pushing through, staying motivated, and at least it was fun to chat with other people about. And I did end up getting to Lore Olympus. I read this in one sitting and I loved it so much. I feel like I loved it even more than the first volume, because the first volume you are setting up the plot, you're getting introduced to characters, but in this book we just dove into their relationship, and I feel like I can't talk much about this book. I also love that the author put in a content warning about toxic relationships, sexual trauma, physical and mental abuse as well. So this isn't just like a light fluffy romance. There's definitely some things in here that are hard to read. But if you know anything about Greek mythology and how messed up some of the Greek gods were, you can imagine how messed up this book probably is. I did also manage to fully complete Death by Dumpling, and I loved this one as well. I wouldn't say it was a full 5 stars, but I would say it was a good solid 4. I was able to guess most or the main part of the plot twist or who the murderer or the suspect was, which was very satisfying. I think my favorite cutesy part about this book is typically in cozy mysteries there's like a companion that's an animal of some sort, and in this book we have a pug named Kiko after the soy sauce brand. And you guys, I loved that so much. It was the cutest thing. There are so many different aspects to this book that I was like, oh my gosh, this reminds me of Lane Kim. But I also loved the Asian market and how all our characters owned a different store. I can just imagine how cute and colorful and beautiful that market would be. And I loved the cozy small town feel. Of course, there were so many good one-liners from the mother as well. The humor was right on point, and I can happily say I will be continuing on with this series. Unfortunately, I did not get to Spells for Forgetting, but that's okay because I really want to take my time and savor this. I may put it off till January even, or end of November, because I really just want to take my time, and I am okay with not completing all the prompts. Well, my friends, that is all I have for you. I hope you enjoyed enjoyed the Pop-Tart baking, the Gilmore Girls watching, the cozy vibe books. I tried to keep my TBR to just cozy or fall theme books, and I feel like I had a really great reading week. I feel like I have not read this much in ages, so I am very satisfied with how my week turned out. But thank you guys so much for being so excited for another round of this readathon. It is absolutely my favorite readathon ever, and I would love to do a winter theme next time and like theme it around I Smell Snow. I think that would be another fun idea that we've kind of messed around with a little bit. I love this readathon so much. I love you guys and your excitement and all your posts and all your sweet things that you've said. It was the perfect end to like the fall season and transitioning into winter. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me this week and reading with us. I love you so much, and I will see you in my next video.